The year is 2024. The skies churned with an ominous intensity. The winds howled like a chorus of despair, signaling the arrival of something truly formidable. Hurricane Milton, a tempest of unprecedented fury, had risen from the depths of the Atlantic, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. This was no ordinary storm. It was a monstrous force of nature, a harbinger of chaos and destruction. Coastal communities, once vibrant with life and activity, now lay in ruins, testaments to the raw power of nature's fury. Streets that once bustled with the sounds of daily life were now eerily silent, covered in debris and shattered dreams. Milton was not just a storm, it was a stark reminder of the vulnerability of life in the face of increasingly unpredictable weather patterns. It was a wake-up call, a brutal reminder that our world is changing and not always for the better. From the Caribbean islands to the southeastern coast of the United States, Milton's impact was felt far and wide, etching its name in the annals of history as one of the most powerful hurricanes ever recorded. The sheer scale of its reach was staggering, affecting millions of lives. The images that emerged from the disaster zone were heart-wrenching: flooded streets transformed into raging rivers, homes reduced to rubble, and families left grappling with the loss of loved ones and livelihoods. The human cost of Milton's wrath was immeasurable, leaving scars that would take years to heal. The sheer scale of the destruction left the world stunned, prompting an outpouring of support and raising urgent questions about our preparedness for such catastrophic events. Relief efforts poured in from around the globe, showcasing the best of humanity in the face of adversity. The story of Hurricane Milton is one of resilience, of communities coming together to rebuild amidst the wreckage. Neighbors helped neighbors, strangers became friends, and a sense of unity emerged from the chaos, proving that even in the darkest times, hope can shine through. It's also a stark warning, a call to action to address the growing threat of climate change and the urgent need for better disaster preparedness. The increasing frequency and intensity of such storms cannot be ignored, and Milton serves as a grim reminder of what could become the new normal. As we delve into the details of this catastrophic event, we'll explore the science behind its formation, the impact on affected communities, and the lessons learned for a future increasingly defined by extreme weather events. Understanding the forces at play is crucial if we are to mitigate the effects of such disasters and protect our world for future generations. Hurricane Milton, a monster storm classified as a Category 5 on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale, packed winds exceeding 157 miles per hour. This immense power made it one of the most formidable storms in recent history, causing widespread concern and preparation along its projected path. Its formation, like all hurricanes, was a complex dance of atmospheric conditions. The interplay of temperature, humidity, and wind patterns created the perfect environment for this storm to develop. It began as a tropical disturbance, a seemingly innocuous cluster of thunderstorms off the west coast of Africa. These disturbances are common, but only a few evolve into something more menacing. Fueled by the warm waters of the Atlantic Ocean, the disturbance intensified, its swirling winds gaining momentum. The heat from the ocean's surface provided the energy needed for the storm to grow. As warm, moist air rose from the ocean's surface and cooler air rushed in to replace it, a cycle of condensation and heat release began, further fueling the storm's growth. This process is known as latent heat release, and it is a critical component in the development of powerful hurricanes. Over the course of several days, the storm system organized, its central pressure dropping and wind speeds increasing, eventually developing the characteristic eye and eye wall that define a hurricane. The eye is a clear indicator of a mature and powerful storm. The eye, a deceptively calm center of the storm, is surrounded by the eye wall, a ring of towering thunderstorms where the most intense winds and rainfall occur. This stark contrast between the calm eye and the violent eye wall is one of the most fascinating aspects of hurricanes. Milton's rapid intensification, a phenomenon increasingly observed in recent hurricanes, was likely exacerbated by unusually warm ocean temperatures and favorable atmospheric conditions. This rapid intensification can catch forecasters and residents off guard, making it a particularly dangerous aspect of modern hurricanes. These factors, coupled with its westward track over open water, allowed Milton to gather strength, transforming it into a meteorological behemoth before it made landfall. The combination of warm ocean waters, favorable wind patterns, and the absence of land obstacles enabled Milton to reach its peak intensity, making it a storm to be remembered for years to come. Milton's journey of destruction began in late September 2024. As it churned across the vast Atlantic Ocean, its trajectory aimed ominously at the Caribbean islands. On September 27th, the storm made its first landfall, slamming into the Lesser Antilles as a powerful Category 3 hurricane. The islands, ill-prepared for a storm of this magnitude, suffered significant damage. Homes were flattened, businesses destroyed, and infrastructure crippled. Communication lines were cut, leaving many islands isolated and desperate for aid. Moving westward, Milton continued to gain strength, reaching Category 5 intensity by September 29th. Its next target, the southeastern coast of the United States. Landfall was imminent, and coastal communities braced for impact. On October 1st, Milton made landfall near Charleston, South Carolina, bringing with it a catastrophic combination of high winds, torrential rainfall, and storm surge. The storm surge, a wall of water pushed ashore by the hurricane's powerful winds, proved particularly destructive, inundating coastal areas and causing widespread flooding. Charleston, South Carolina, bore the brunt of Milton's fury. The once serene and picturesque city found itself at the epicenter of a natural disaster that would leave an indelible mark on its history. The historic city, known for its cobblestone streets and antebellum architecture, was transformed into a scene of chaos and devastation. Buildings that had stood for centuries were reduced to rubble, and the charm of the old city was overshadowed by the sheer scale of destruction. The storm surge, reaching unprecedented levels, inundated the city's historic district, submerging homes and businesses under several feet of water. Streets turned into rivers, and the daily life of residents was upended in an instant. The Battery, a landmark waterfront promenade, was ravaged by the storm's relentless waves. This iconic spot, usually bustling with tourists and locals alike, now lay in ruins, a testament to the storm's unyielding power. The iconic Arthur Ravenel Jr. Bridge, a symbol of the city's resilience, stood precariously as high winds threatened to rip it apart. The bridge, which connects Charleston to the surrounding areas, became a lifeline for those seeking refuge and aid. Miles inland, the Waccamaw River overflowed its banks, flooding homes and displacing thousands. The river, usually a source of life and sustenance, turned into a force of destruction, leaving communities in despair. Further north, the Outer Banks of North Carolina felt Milton's wrath. These barrier islands, known for their natural beauty and tourist appeal, were not spared from the storm's ferocity. These barrier islands, popular tourist destinations, were battered by high winds and storm surge, leaving behind a trail of destruction. The vibrant tourism industry faced an uncertain future as the islands struggled to recover. Homes were reduced to rubble, beaches eroded, and businesses destroyed. The landscape of the Outer Banks was forever altered, and the road to recovery seemed long and arduous. The storm's impact extended far beyond the coast. Inland areas, often considered safe from such storms, found themselves grappling with the aftermath. Heavy rainfall inundated inland areas, causing widespread flooding and landslides. Communities that had never experienced such devastation were now facing the harsh realities of nature's unpredictability. Rivers and streams overflowed, submerging roads and bridges, cutting off access to communities and hindering relief efforts. The path to recovery was fraught with challenges, but the spirit of resilience remained strong among the affected.